Hey everyone, it's your Rocket Rack guide, Josh. Supported by decades of problem-solving innovation and a deep understanding of installer and end-user needs, Rocket Rack has quickly become the electrical raceway and mechanical piping industry's leading choice for sanitary support. It's pre-engineered, factory-fabricated, and endlessly configurable, so you can create the exact solution you need for your installation without cutting and drilling in the field, needing to disassemble the whole system to make future changes, or risking dangerous foreign matter contamination. It's true, the possibilities really are endless, but we also understand that at first glance it can seem a little overwhelming. That's why we've invested in creating a solution that will simplify the way you plan your Rocket Rack installation. It's called the Rocket Rack Configurator. The Rocket Rack Configurator is an interactive CAD program that allows project shareholders to build a complete Rocket Rack setup that has been designed with the appropriate materials for their specific applications and needs. Using an intelligently designed program that checks for real-world interferences with design, it can generate detailed dimensional drawing PDF files for field use, and it produces a complete bill of material with the corresponding part numbers of every product you choose. It's simple to navigate and makes planning your raceway system a breeze. This is the first in a series of quick video tutorials on how to use the configurator. Here I'll be showing you how to log in for the first time, how to navigate the configurator and its tools, and how to begin a project from the main menu. So let's get started. So to sign up for the Rocket Rack Configurator, you'll need to visit rocket-rack.com/configurator. On this landing page, you'll find everything you need to know about the configurator, including essential tips and tutorial videos like this one. When you're ready to sign up, click Register Now. You'll see this sign-in screen. Since you don't already have an account, hit Create One. You have several account creation options. I'm going to sign up with Google. Log in with your email and password. Complete the two-step verification. And then fill out some additional details to complete the account setup. Once you hit Continue, you'll be granted access to the configurator and rerouted to the platform. Here, you'll need to sign in with the email you just used to create the account and accept the configurator's permissions. Choose whether to stay signed in to make signing in next time easier, and voila, you're in. All right, so this is the home screen of the configurator. It's looking a little empty right now, but let's fix that. So to start, we're going to go to New Project. So a number of properties are going to come up here, and these are going to help you designate this specific project. We've got project number, customer, contact, title, email address, and phone number. Let's go ahead and fill these in. All right, now that we're done with that, we can move on. But just to note, if you don't fill these out, you're not going to be able to export the PDF files with the detailed drawings later. So let's keep going. Under Details, you can see here the date that this project was created on. This will automatically populate to the date that you first opened this project. All right, next we'll need to add a new configuration to this project. So what we're going to do is click on Add, and you can see here all of the different assembly types that you can create. We've got trapeze, single post, double post, inline post, flat rack wall mount, and direct mount to wall. Lots of options here. Just like with the Rocket Rack system, you can use these to create any number of applications that you can think of. We're going to start out with trapeze assembly in just a second, but let's keep looking here on the home screen. You can toggle between a grid view and a line view of the projects you create. And of course, as we build out more line items in this project, you'll be able to see that moving forward. The Queue All button will queue all the line items that you've created to be exported into PDF files all at once. Also, each line item can be exported out into a PDF file one by one, and we'll show you how to do that when we get a little further along. All right, so for now, let's go to Add and hit Trapeze Assembly. And this is where we can start creating. The first thing that you'll see when you click into a new line item for the first time is the Edit tab. And this is where you can get really specific with where this configuration fits into the overall project. You've got Assembly under Assembly Details. This is where you put the name or the type of assembly being created. And this will come up in the PDF file you export when you're finished. And it is limited to 16 characters. So let's just call this Trapeze 001. Make sure to click out of the boxes in the configurator to allow them to update. Now, area/room is where this assembly will be installed on site. And group allows you to get even more specific by adding a standard naming convention for this assembly, or designating a specific conduit run, or basically any other organizational name given to you by the contractor for this project. So let's call area/room the oven room. Okay. And under group, let's say this is for conduit run 3, so we'll call it CR03. You can really configure this however you want to fit your project needs. Next, you can add any relevant notes on the design or installation of this assembly under special notes, and then you can add the date that the assembly is required to be on site under date required. Let's say 03/24/2025. That seems like plenty of time to me. All right, so after we've filled out the assembly details, you're going to get a set of user designations that are going to differ depending on the assembly type that you're building. These are preliminary configuration options that are carried out across every rack in this assembly. And the ones shown here are for a tinted installation, so we'll get into more of what these do in the next video. First, let's take a look at all the controls. The controls are here at the bottom of the screen. The first one up here is orbit, and this will allow us to tilt and rotate our assembly here however we would like. We've got this nice 3D rendering right here in the middle. All right, that's what orbit does. We've got a pan button, which will allow us to slide the assembly around on our 2D plane here. And then we've got the zoom function, where if you click and drag, it will zoom in and out of the rendering. It's also worth noting that if you're on pan or orbit or any of these other options, you can scroll with your mouse wheel to zoom in and out as well. So if I'm on orbit, I'm zooming while I'm also orbiting. Now, if you're familiar with Revit or Inventor, you might already be comfortable with these viewing options, especially these ones in the top right corner. We've got a cube here, which will automatically rotate our configuration to a couple of pre-configured viewing angles. It's pretty neat, and of course if you hit home, it will reset the assembly to the default view. Very handy if you're needing to get a quick overview of what you've already created so far. And finally, let's discuss the stuff here on the left side of the screen. These are where you can navigate the different parts that you populate onto the rack itself. So on the very left here, this is a section called Part Children. Right now, all that's showing is trapeze level 1. This means that we are on the level of the main rack itself. Now, if we want to add components onto this rack, we need to select the rack here in Part Children. And of course, now on the Edit tab here on the right, we can see that there are different options for rack length, rack type, rack material, and level height as well. And we'll get more into what each of these are in the next video. But if we click Add here, right under Edit, you see a number of options here for components that we can populate onto the rack. So let's just click a cable tray clamp. And as you can see, it's populated here onto the rack, but it is red. And the reason for that is because where it populated on the center of the rack, there is no slot. There's no slot here for the cable tray clamp to be installed. So that's one of the great things about the configurator, is that it's built to recognize real-world interferences. So whenever something happens in the configurator that wouldn't make sense in a real-world installation, that component's going to turn red. So we'll just need to move its position along the rack so that it's a valid installation. So that means we're going to have to go back to the Part Children tab and click on Cable Tray Clamp Assembly 1. And this is where we can adjust the position for this cable tray clamp. Let's try 10. There you go, it has now positioned itself 10 inches to the right of center on our rack. And if we wanted to move it left of center, we would just type in -10. And you can see it's been reflected over to the left. And that's it. These mechanics are consistent across most of the components that you would need to place on a rack. Now you can see here that the cable tray clamp is now listed as a level on the top of the screen. So if we want to go back to the rack itself, we'll just have to click back to trapeze level 1. And now you can see we have the add button where we can add more components. We can change more features about the rack here. Now another cool feature about the configurator is that we can duplicate parts that are already on the rack. So let's go back into Cable Tray Clamp Assembly 1. If we hit duplicate right here at the top, it will give us a second cable tray clamp. Now it will populate it right on top of the existing part, which is why it's turned red here. The second one is right on top of the first one. So we'll just have to change the position. Let's call it 10, and it'll reflect it across the rack. And now we've got 2. So if we back out to trapeze level 1, Now you can see we have 2 cable tray clamp assemblies being shown under Part Children tabs. We can click into each individual one and change the positions for each one. There you go. And let's change this one. There you go. It really is that simple. Parts can also be deleted by hitting the trash can button next to them on the Part Children tab. You just hit yes, and there you go, it's gone. Also on the left side of our screen, you can see there is an Issues tab. If any issues come up during the creation of your assembly, they'll show up here and you can resolve them. And finally, here we've got our viewing settings. And this just lets you kind of change the way the configurator looks to your liking. So right now I have it where the rendering is on the left side and the edit tab is on the right side, but you can adjust this however you like. Here you have the rendering on the right and the edit tab on the left, or the rendering on top, or the rendering on bottom. Me personally, I like to have the rendering on the left and the edit tab on the right. That just makes the most sense for me, but you can change that however you would like. So now that we've put some parts on our rack, let's go out to our top level, Trapeze Assembly, Trapeze 001. And on the right next to Edit, you can click Bill of Materials. And here you can see a complete list of everything that is needed to make this assembly. And it updates in real time with every part that we add. So just to demonstrate, if we wanted to add another part here, we'd go into Trapeze Level 1, go up to Add, and let's add a sanitary clamp. All right, so it's been populated into the middle of the rack. Of course, it's red because this is not a real world scenario. There's no slot there, so it wouldn't fit. So we'd have to click into Sanitary Clamp 0 and change the position offset to whatever we would like. There you have it. So now if we go back out to Trapeze Assembly 001 and go to Bill of Materials, you can see now that the sanitary 2-piece clamp has been added to the Bill of Materials, as well as the standoff that is being used to raise it up from the slot has been added automatically. And we've got the bolt that is used to secure this sanitary 2-piece clamp to the rack has also been added to the Bill of Materials. This is just another way that the Rocket Rack Configurator will help you get everything you need ahead of time to get this installation ready to go in your facility. And whenever we're finished putting together our assembly, we can export out a PDF drawing by going up to Actions and hitting Queue Outputs. And we can see here, if we go over to the Documents and Jobs tab, it's queued up, it's processing, and once that's done, we'll be able to download the PDF drawing and see what we've got going on there. So while we're waiting, let's go back up to Actions and hit Export BOM. This is going to export out the BOM in spreadsheet form for you to use for ordering all of these specific parts to get this application built. All right, and the job looks like it's finished, so we can go to Documents, and there it is. We'll download it. All right, here's the PDF that we downloaded. You can see here on page 1, it's just an overview of what we put together. We have the rack here with our sanitary clamp and the cable tray clamp. If we go down to the next page, you can see a complete parts list here with the item numbers and quantities, descriptions, as well as the weight of each piece. Here on the next page, this is where sub-assemblies go. So if we had more than one tier of rack happening in our assembly, we would have one page for each tier. As you can see here, we only had one tier installation, so this is what we've got. You can see we've got our length notated here and each part number listed up at the top, as well as a connection assembly that shows how the rod will be installed into each of the mounting holes and what material is needed to secure that. And this page is detailing what rod is being used to mount it. As you can see here, we selected bald rod, 304 stainless, 3/8 inch, and they come in 6 foot and 12 foot lengths. So here it's just designating that we're getting a 12 foot length. All right, so here's the spreadsheet we downloaded, and as you can see, it's pretty much identical to the bill of materials that we saw inside the configurator. You've got quantities, part numbers, catalog numbers, descriptions, and then the assembly group, area, and room designations that we talked about earlier. They're all here. This makes it super, super easy for you to just take this and order exactly what you need to build the Rocket Rack installation that you need for your application. And there you have it. Navigating the Rocket Rack configurator is easy. And now that you know how to do it, you can create any Rocket Rack assembly you can put your mind to. Well, that's it for this introductory video, but be sure to watch the rest of our video tutorials for more in-depth explorations of each assembly type available in the configurator. See you next time.